Officials describe that Russia recently launched a new anti-satellite capability, meaning a satellite that can attack other satellites. The officials tell me that this satellite, which is possibly nuclear powered, has an electronic warfare capability to target American satellites that are essential for U.S. military and civilian communication. Now, that public statement that you just referred to right there was from Mike Turner, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. You see him right there. He is a voice for stronger national security, especially for Ukraine, which itself right now is facing serious threats from Russian electronic warfare. And of course, this comes as members in the House, especially in the Republican caucus, are resisting some support for Ukraine against Russia in the ongoing war there.
Shalom, it's your brother Azariah, back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at the Great Millstone. Peace and blessings, Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, to the hopefully elect listening and learning. So I just got a few things I want to touch on that's in the news right now. And Lord willing, this is, I'm going to try to make it quick. Hopefully it's edifying and straight to the point. But as you saw in this first opening clip, Russia just launched a space weapon. Now, some people say it's a nuclear device. Some people say that it's going to be used to be an EMP to knock out the American power grid. We don't know what's going to happen. But the fact Russia made this move, this is major. You see what I'm saying? Because they now have the capability, if they want, to launch a nuke from space or do the EMP attack. You know, so either way it goes, it's going to be devastating for America and for NATO as well. You know, but America, you know, they're stressing about this. They're worried because they didn't think Russia would take these type of measures. And when you look at the war in Ukraine, that's a failure. That whole thing, even the sanctions that the West put on Russia, all of that failed. It backfired. But you still got that war in Ukraine raging on. And at this point, they just throwing bodies out there to get deleted. There's no men left in Ukraine to fight. And the soldiers that they are sending over there, they're far and few in between as well. So what is America and NATO still doing in Ukraine? Of course, we know that they fighting for those biolabs that are there. And, you know, they want that territory of Ukraine to be able to launch an attack into Russia. But see, it's not going to happen. You see what I'm saying? Russia eventually is going to take Ukraine. And Putin said in that interview with Tucker Carlson that Russia has no interest in launching an attack into NATO. But what is he supposed to say? Is he supposed to say out in the open, yeah, we're going to take Ukraine and then go into NATO? No, of course he's not going to say that. He's going to downplay the situation because this is war. You can't let your enemy know what you're about to do. You see what I'm saying? You cannot let your opponent know what your next move is, because then they figured you out and they can launch something against you. You see, so Putin, he's playing the strategic game. Okay, while America, they pretty much just raging. They got all kind of wars going on all over the earth. You know, to the point now where Ukraine is pretty much a lost cause. So let's get to this article here. This is from Space, and it says Russian plans for a space-based nuclear weapon to target satellites spark concern in U.S. Congress. Russia is reportedly developing a space-based nuclear weapon designed to disable or destroy satellites. The United States Congress and America's European allies were informed of Russia's plans to develop the anti-satellite capability on Wednesday, February 14th. It's unclear what the exact nature of the planned weapon is. That is, whether it involves detonating a nuclear explosive in space or is another anti-satellite technology powered by a space-based nuclear reactor. So like I said, this can be used as an EMP to knock out power grids, or this can be an actual nuclear device. At this point, we just don't know because they just launched this thing yesterday. So whatever comes of this, we know that we're in the midst of perilous times Jacob's trouble is upon us. So you can imagine the repercussions of the Russians launching a EMP strike on America. America will pretty much collapse overnight. People going to lose their minds, man. It's going to be martial law. It's going to be all out hell and violence in the streets. The migrants, sleeper cells that are in America, they're going to be activated. You see, and then that's going to call for what? That's going to call for digital IDs to, so the powers that be, they can know who's who, and they can know who's a terrorist and who's not, and all these different things. We understand that this is an order out of chaos scenario. And I actually believe, this is just me speaking as a man, I actually believe that Russia is not going to do an EMP. I believe that America is going to cut its own power grid, man. Because look at what they said the other day, what's going on with the Houthis in that Red Sea region. They were saying that the Houthis are going to cut the internet cables on the seafloor so that the internet is going to get cut off. And we already know that the powers that be, they want to do away with the internet because too much information is coming out exposing them and their wickedness and what they've been doing. So they want that anyway. But of course, they have to have a boogeyman to blame it on. You see? So there's a lot going on. You really just have to watch these devils and what they got going on, man. You see? Because they about to come down with great wrath. They're setting up a lot of stuff right now, and it's really going to blindside a lot of people. So reading on in this article, according to the intelligence presented to Congress, the U.S. military does not have the ability to counter such a weapon and defend its satellites. According to a report in the New York Times, the report adds that U.S. government officials do not believe that such a weapon will be launched anytime soon, but that there is, quote, a limited window of time to stop it from being launched and deployed. Orbital nuclear weapons are currently banned due to the Outer Space Treaty of 1967, although there have been concerns of late that Russia might be backing out of the treaty in order to pursue further militarization of space. And can you blame them? Because all these treaties and agreements that America in the past agreed to, they've broken every single last one of them. You see, including the nuclear deal. So Russia's pretty much like, we have the capabilities, we have the means to do it, so we're going to do it. And, as we just read, America does not have the capabilities to stop such a weapon if it was to be deployed. So once again, that would be detrimental to American society. So look, time is short. If this thing goes down, all hell could break loose overnight. And let me bring out a scripture. This is Isaiah 54:16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy." So the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, he has created the smith that bloweth the coals. Now, let's go into that word smith, right? Smith, this is the definition, a worker in metal. Okay, so a smith is somebody that is a metal worker. Like in ancient times, they would make swords, they would make armor, they would make shields and things of that nature. So the Lord say that he has created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. So these certain scientists and weapons manufacturers that are set up in these different nations, the Lord set them up and endowed them with the wisdom to create these certain world-ending diabolical weapons, all for the purpose of what? Ultimately, World War III, and so that these nations can destroy one another. You see, they're fulfilling the will of the Lord and not even knowing it. And that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And that instrument is what? ICBM nuclear missiles, electromagnetic pulse, okay, or an EMP. All right. Tactical nukes, all sorts of artillery and weapons machinery that they've created, high tech lasers and things of that nature. These things are going to be used in World War III. And a lot of these things are already being used on certain battlefronts. But it's about to amp up because we're getting closer and closer to that third world's war, or that third war, as the scripture calls it. And I've created the waster to destroy. So yeah, the Most High has set up the man. Okay, he has set up these certain people to create these weapons. All right, and ultimately it's all for destruction. See, these weapons are not being made for no reason. They're not just creating ICBM nuclear missiles and EMPs just so these things can sit there and look pretty. No, these things were created so that they can be used, point blank, period. And when they are used, it's going to be devastating to the whole of the population of the earth, but especially America, because they have no defense against it. The scripture calls America the land of unwalled villages. Now, a village that has no walls, that means what? You have no protection. If somebody wanted to come in and just take over your land, then they could do it easily. Well, that's the position that America is in. That's why America, as we speak, has been invaded. It's just a matter of time before the agents of chaos that are here are activated and make America fall from within. See, the Lord has set up everything beautifully. Let's move on here. This article is from Thai NBC. Klaus Schwab rebrands depopulation plan as Humanocracy. So you can just see the warped mind of these devils. Okay, and this is the true red man. All right, this is the Edomite. But he, in the scriptures also say, woe to them that call good evil and evil good. When they call sweet for bitter and bitter for sweet. And that's Esau Edom. See, he's calling knocking off billions of people off the planet with bioengineered disease. I just brought out a lesson the other day where pretty much in every U.S. state you have biolabs set up. And what are they doing inside these biolabs? They're engineering and using a what's it called? They're using gain of function research, okay, to make these certain existing diseases and creating new ones to make them more deadly and harder to survive from. You see, they talking about disease X is 80% plus deletion rate. Then you got something going around right now in the Midwest and different states. You had a case of bubonic plague in the United States already. So a lot of death is about to come back. But Klaus Schwab, the WEF, in conjunction with the WHO, the World Health Organization, they're culling people, okay, depopulation of the planet as a humanocracy. So this is good for the earth. Let's get into this article. World Economic Forum founder Klaus Schwab claims the push to depopulate the planet is part of the WEF's Humanocracy plan for humanity. Speaking at the 2024 World Government Summit in Dubai on Tuesday, Schwab revealed that the WEF is moving away from the technocracy framework in favor of a more, quote, humanist approach he called a humanocracy due to the bad press the Great Reset has received. You see, so these devils have been found out. All right. They can't push that same narrative that they did in the beginning of the pandemic because it's all been exposed. Okay. You've even had insiders that were with the WEF. They've came out and they've actually exposed what the true agenda is. So everyone's pretty much hip and aware to what's being set up, but they're going to try to flip the script. They're going to try to muddy the waters. You know what I'm saying? Because whether it's a technocracy or it's depopulation, it's all to fulfill the same agenda for these devils, you see. But yeah, they trying to change it up now because of the bad press that the Great Reset is receiving worldwide. Okay, it says here, let's play this video.
Finally, if you look at leadership in this new age, political leaders, I think a political leader has to combine 3 different dimensions. He has to be first a technician, a scientist. He has to understand those new technologies. But second, he has to be a philosopher. He has to understand the interactions of those new technologies with the other parts of our daily lives. And finally, he has to be a humanist. He has to prioritize not technology, but the human aspect. So, if I look forward, we don't want to move into using the fourth industrial revolution into a cold bureaucracy. We don't want to move into a technocracy. What we want to do, we want to move in what I would call a humanocracy, a world where we use technology to use all our human potential and to create even a better world. Thank you.
And notice how he's trying to make his words sweet, right? Like he's trying to make what he's, his vision for the future seem like a good thing. Oh no, this is humanocracy. See, we need to use technology. And he talked about the fourth industrial revolution, which what does that entail? The fourth industrial revolution is merging man with machine. All right, which is what? That's going to entail putting a chip inside of you. All right. Either in your right hand or your forehead, basically making you a cyborg. They can track, trace you. They can know what you're thinking at all times. They can control your movements. You see, this is why this whole climate change agenda is being pushed as well. Electric vehicles, no more gas stoves, no more gas powered vehicles. When you go to the store and shop, it's not going to be no more cash. Everything is digital. You're not even going to have a card. Everything is going to be digital. And eventually, what is going to become the CBDC is going to be inside of you. All you're going to have to do is wave your hand, tap and pay, and go. This is the tech, this is the humanocracy of what he's talking about. It's still the same agenda. He's just wording it different. You see, the same thing, man. Let's go down. He says, what we want to do, we want to move in what I would call a humanocracy, a world where we use technology to use all our human potential and to create even a better world. Matter of fact, a scripture just popped in my mind. Let me bring that up real quick. Let me bring this up real quick. Because look, this devil's words are smooth, man. Okay, he's gonna speak sweet words into you. He's gonna come crouching, as the scriptures say, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Yeah, so he's gonna come crouching, like he's gonna come humble and tell you, oh no, this is for your benefit. But really, well, let's get it here. Psalms 55:21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Yeah, so he's talking about a humanocracy. He's talking about we all need to come together. All nations need to unite and be one so that we can all put our collective thinking ability and our ideas together so that we can create a better world. You see, the call for this is to do away with world hunger, do away with people not being identified and left out of the system. This is a second attempt at the Tower of Babel. You know what I'm saying? Because the first Tower of Babel, what, all nations, all people came together, but it was in mischief. It was in iniquity. That's why the Lord had to come down and confound the languages so that they couldn't complete their enterprise. Okay, the Lord raised up a standard against Nimrod at that time. And another standard is going to be raised up against Esau and these other nations in this time. You know what I'm saying? Because they trying to, really with this whole NWO thing, they trying to escape the judgment of Yahweh Basham Shah, because the destiny of the heathen, their future is going in slavery. You see? Especially Esau, his future is to be a slave and ultimately after 1,000 years be destroyed and not exist no more. So this is their way to try to circumvent that, get around prophecy and ultimately create a means of salvation for themselves. You see? Yeah, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So it doesn't matter how sweet this devil want to speak unto you. It's war that's in his heart. Okay, this is why they pushed that CV-19. Who was responsible for that? Was it not the WEF? Was it not the World Health Organization? Was it not the CDC? Right? But they told you, right? This is for your benefit. We want to help you. So take this thing. You see? They created the problem because that CV-19, that was manufactured, but they created the problem and then they gave you the solution. But both of them entailed death. So they spoke smooth words unto you, but what was the end of it? It was war and death that came to the people. Well, this is the same thing. You see? To create an even better world. Schwab's sudden branding of the Great Reset as a humanocracy is especially bizarre, given other WEF members are explicitly anti-human, arguing that a 90% reduction in the global population of humans would solve globalist problems and help them achieve their net zero goals. So like I said, it's still the same agenda. They just, once again, as it says in Psalms 55, his words were softer than oil, smoother than butter, but yet were they drawn swords. War is in his heart. You see, because he's telling you this is for the benefit of humanity. But really what he means is this is for the benefit of our setup. See, in order, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but the Georgia Guidestones, right, is, it's not standing no more. But when it was standing, it said maintain humanity at or below 500 million. There's 8 billion people approximately on the planet right now. So they got to get rid of 7.5 at least. All right. And the reason why they want to do this is because people will be easier to control. They will have less resistance against their agenda. All right. Because as it is right now, the people at the WEF, at the World Health Organization, these different factions that are set up, they're very small and few in number. OK, the common citizen greatly outnumbers them. So the solution is we need to get these people out the way. All right. This is why they want to reduce the world population by 90% to support their net zero agenda, which that net zero was what? Completely digital. OK, you got headsets set up to where they actually want you to live in a matrix reality. They don't want you to live in the real world. You know what I'm saying? S to the E to the X, that's going to be no more. You know what I'm saying? People giving birth. The elder Yashawamba, he's bringing it out today that the human experience is going to be no more. You see, the human experience is as you know it now is not going to be this way going forward. That's what they want. That's what this whole net zero agenda entails. Okay. Drastically reducing the world's population doesn't seem like the best way to create a humanocracy. Yeah, that's an oxymoron. Okay, you want to drastically reduce the world population, but yet you're claiming this is for the benefit of humanity. How does that make sense? Well, it doesn't make sense because it's all BS. All right. Such a society would be dominated by an elite whose claim to political power would rest on allegedly superior scientific know-how. Unhindered by the restraints of traditional liberal values, this elite would not hesitate to achieve its political ends by using the latest modern techniques for influencing public behavior and keeping society under close surveillance and control. All right. When you read that book 1984 by George Orwell, this is this is the type of society that they want. This is what's being set up right before you. All right. But the scriptures give us the rundown on what this devil will do in the last days. This is what the Apostle John saw. When he was receiving those visions, you know what I'm saying, into the future. All right, let's go here. Official study warns cell towers cause irreversible DNA damage. You see, so all these cell towers that are set up, especially this 5G, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wonder why you may sometimes get just random headaches, like your body just feels weird sometimes. Well, it's because of all this radiation that's being sent out into the atmosphere. And I don't know if you brothers and sisters have noticed, but they've been going hard with that, with those chemtrails, man. Like, they've been going hard. Like, like now, them damn chemtrails they spraying in the air is super thick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I looked up the other day, I seen a chemtrail. I'm like, damn, that thing was white. That thing was super white, man. So they definitely amping up the biological warfare. You know what I'm saying? Esau, hey, the devil coming unto you with great wrath, for he know he has but a short time. This is all a part of that great wrath. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a cell tower every 2 to 3 miles, if I'm not mistaken, or it might be 5 miles, something like that. But these cell towers are pumping out a lot of radiation that are affecting people, especially the people that got that sauce, the juice crew, people that got that juice. We know that they got them nanoparticles up in them, and it reacts to a certain frequency. And I've been hearing today, I heard that somebody died, somebody that I know of, their family member died. And I heard like 2 people passed away yesterday. So there's a lot of death that's occurring right now, man. Like, death is definitely the theme of the time. So getting into this, it says, the study entitled Human-Made Electromagnetic Fields, Ion Forced Oscillation and Voltage Gated Ion Channel Dysfunction, Oxidative Stress, and DNA Damage Review, published in the International Journal of Oncology by biophysicist Demetrius J. These names, man, I can't with these names. Pana, yeah, I ain't even gonna try that. Salakia. Warned that electromagnetic radiation from wireless technology damages DNA. This DNA damage causes infertility, sterility, mutations, and extinctions. And it explains the loss of biodiversity that we are currently experiencing on this planet. And you think about it, when is the last time that you seen a monarch butterfly? I can't remember. Like when I was a kid, you used to see butterflies outside all the time during summer, but now it's not that way. Biodiversity is taking a hit, man. Okay, and this is all due to the rulership of the wicked. You see? Proverbs 29:16, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. You see? So when the wicked are multiplied, man, the earth is in a state of mourning. Okay, everything is mourning. Everything is being held to a lower vibration with Esau in charge. This is why I'm saying here that it causes what? Infertility, which we know this goes into that depopulation. You see? And a lot of people that got the juice as well, they've been sterilized. You see? They can't have children now because, the juice messes with your reproductive organs. You see? Mutations and extinctions. Okay, this is a direct cause of why there, so many species of animals are dying off, amongst other things. Chemtrails, chemicals being pumped into the atmosphere. You see, so this devil got to go. He's just doing way too much and he's gone too far. DNA damage from wireless radiation is not a new discovery. It has been confirmed over and over by numerous scientists using a variety of experimental subjects and frequencies. But do observations in the laboratory translate into the same effects in the real world? If these scientists are correct, they must do. In the real world, things might be a lot worse, because in the real world, we are not exposed to a single frequency or bandwidth, but to a whole soup of them. From multiple sources in the real world, exposure time is not limited to a few minutes or hours per day or week. The cell towers are on day and night. DNA damage from wireless radiation is not a laboratory phenomenon. It is real. We are losing the insects, among them the pollinators. And again, this goes into the war on farming, okay? Because the bees and the butterflies, like I mentioned about the monarch butterfly, you know, animals such as that, they're pollinators, okay? So they work in the ecosystem, you know, during the spring and summer months to bring forth new life in the earth, okay? So these devils are even attacking biodiversity and the natural cycle of the earth, man. Okay, what these devils are doing is even affecting the weather, all right? Of course, we know they got certain weather modification systems set up and things of that nature, but all these, you know, all this radiation and, you know, chemtrails and you know, smog and listen, man, this is why the earth is out of course, okay? And they deliberately want to do this because they want to be God on earth, man. Okay, they want to be the power. They want full control. So they don't even want real life to exist, man. Are you hearing what this article is saying? We are losing the insects. Among them, the most important, the pollinators. We are losing the birds. Animals are dying out. We are wiping and no, it's not we. It's the Edomites. You see? It's not no we like you know, it's the Israelites, and no, it's you Edomites that's doing this, man. Changing up people DNA, killing off the wildlife, you know? Nah, man. These devils got to go. It's too much. Let's close out on this article here, because this is another big headline. And this is from Slovakia. This is from BPR. Okay. George Soros snaps up 220 radio stations in massive bailout just before 2024 elections. And the purpose of this is for what? Well, the purpose of this is to control the narrative. Okay. You know, and also they want to you know, control certain frequencies, man, like when it's the right time. You see? So these devils, hey, look, we keep on telling you, these devils about to come down with some great wrath. And these are the things that they're doing behind the scenes while people is distracted with football, NBA, entertainment and music and all this folly, man. This is what these devils got going on. Okay, but this is why the Lord has set up the prophets to bring these things forth, because somebody got to be a light shining in the dark place to let you know what's going on. Because the world, you know, unless you look for it, you really not going to know. George Soros is making his move to potentially have a massive leftist bullhorn during the 2024 presidential election by buying 220 radio stations. Soros Fund Management has bought up more than 400 million of the radio and podcast company's highest ranking debit. Bankruptcy court filings show this buy would make Soros's investment firm the biggest shareholder in Odyssey, formerly radio.com, as it comes out of bankruptcy. It is the second largest radio broadcaster behind iHeartMedia in America. The leftist billionaire has already bought up 18 Spanish language radio stations, including the iconic conservative talk station Radio Mambi, according to the Daily Signal. This is a tweet here. It says George Soros intends to control the narrative. There you go. All right. So if you buy the radio stations, because they already control all the news networks, you know, but you have some radio stations that are independently run, they're privately owned. Well, now he's buying those independently owned radio stations out, and so that they can push their narrative, which is not going to work. The fact that he's doing this just shows that they're guilty. You know, this just shows that they're losing the narrative. For them to go to these links, that shows that they've already lost the narrative. So them doing this is only going to expose them even more. But This is what the devil do. Okay, he has to control the narrative to deceive the people. Okay. Yeah, he is poised to take a massive stake in America's second largest radio company, Odyssey, which owns more than 220 stations nationwide. For context, talk radio is very much an open space. It's like here. Hey, what happened? Yeah, it's like here. Well, whatever. You know, I was trying to get the full tweet, but I guess it was trying to open up Twitter. We don't got to get into that. You know, matter of fact, we don't even got to get no more. You pretty much get the point. So, yeah, this is to control the narrative, but this what these devils got going on, you know, which shows you that they're about to bring some massive deception. All right. The fact that they making these kind of moves and who knows what else they got going on, you know, but this is just what's coming out, you know, independent media. But they about to come with some massive deception upon the earth, man. It's going to catch a lot of people off guard because, once again, they haven't been watching. They don't know what's going on. You know, they're still living in La La Land. They still caught up in this world. Okay, you know, what's going on in this world really don't matter. Okay, you should be focused on prophecy. You should be focused on, you know, being obedient to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because clearly this, you know, hey, this world is through. But yeah, you know, they buying up radio stations, they you know, paying people off to say certain things, but look, it's all gonna be to no avail. It's all in vain. Proverbs 24:20. For there shall be no reward to the evil man. Who is that evil man? That evil man is Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. Okay, that's who has the power to buy up 200 plus radio stations. All right, that's who has the power to set up radio towers that, you know, generate high frequencies that can kill off biodiversity on the planet. This is that evil man, and he's doing these things for an evil purpose. The candle of the wicked shall be put out. You see that? So eventually, yeah, Esau is going to go forward with these things because he believes in his mind, and ultimately because the Lord got the spirit on him to do these things, that it's going to protect him, you know, that he's going to be able to prevail with his agenda. But the scriptures say that the candle of the wicked shall be put out. So just when this devil think that he's about to accomplish what he set out to accomplish, it's all going to fail and he's going to be disappointed, right? Isaiah 14:4, it says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. Which, who is the king of Babylon? The king of Babylon is once again Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, the so-called white race. Okay, the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? This man is oppressing everybody. He's even oppressing other Edomites. You see, the golden city ceased, which is America, Babylon the Great. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Verse 6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. You see, so this man is afflicting you nonstop. You got to wake up every day. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to work. You tired. You know, you be hurt. Like, you go outside, you breathing in chemtrails, you breathing in chemicals. You even go to the store and get some water. Even that is full with chemicals. The food is pumped with hormones and GMOs. You see, cell towers are, you know, jacking people up. Then you got the juice crew. You know, then he's creating new diseases. Like, it's a non-stop bombardment of wickedness that this devil is bringing on the earth. This is why, you know, in this day and time, a lot of people are just offing themselves because they just can't take it. A lot of people are just going, you know what, F it, boom, blow their brains out and go back to the spirit world, man. Because as it says, with a continual stroke, man, he's smiting you every day, every hour, every minute, man. You see, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. You see, and that's Esau Edom, man. Okay, this man is smiting the whole earth with a continual stroke. He is ruling in anger. You see, but what's going to happen? Verse 7, the whole earth is at rest. Okay, this is once this devil is taken out the way. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Verse 8, yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee. Even all the chief ones of the earth it hath raised up from their thrones, all the kings of the nations. So yeah, once this devil is taken down, the whole earth is going to be at rest. Okay, even the trees are going to rejoice, man. All right. It ain't going to be a rat in a sewer somewhere that's not going to, scream out, call halal Yahweh Bashib Yahushua once Esau is taken out of power. Okay, because that's what the earth needs. You see, the earth needs new rulership. Okay, the earth needs new governance, because clearly what this devil has been doing is destructive. But he was set up to be that destroying force. Because he's been set up to be that vessel of wrath, created for destruction. Esau really is a spirit of vengeance. Really, when you think about it, man. Esau carries out the vengeance of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai on the left hand side. But hey, it's almost time for this man to be taken out the way and for righteousness to be set up in the earth again. So with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying. And look, I said I was gonna make it quick. I said I was gonna make this a quick hit, but we 41 minutes in. But it's all good. Sometimes you have a plan to make it a short lesson or get straight to the point, but the spirit takes you in different places, man. So, but hey, call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But yeah, hopefully this was edifying through the Rakah Kadash, and until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect.